This video will provide an overview of reports that support validation in FUDSChem. For information on validation tools, please refer to our Validation and Data Usability Assessment (DUA) tutorials playlist, linked in the description. Let's go to Reports, Data Validation and Submission Reports. We will look at the reports used during data validation. The rest are discussed in our Data Validation and Submission Reports Overview video, linked in the description. Starting from the top, we have the blank evaluation summary. Let's open it now. Fill out the drop-downs and click View Report. This report summarizes analytical data for field and lab blanks and can be used in manual recalculations. All of our reports can be exported to a variety of formats by clicking the floppy disk icon. For the remaining reports, we already have examples open with the drop-downs filled out. Next is Client Sample Results. This report shows the result, percent recovery, control limits, qualifiers, lab limits, analysis date, dilution, surrogate code, and run number for each method and analyte. Exceedances of control limits are highlighted. Please note the following features. If you hover over an analysis date, it shows the holding time information. The cell will be highlighted in red if the hold time is exceeded. If the percent recovery exceeds the control limits, the cell is highlighted yellow, and if it exceeds the rejection limits, it is highlighted red. Populating the highlight qualifier field at the top will highlight all instances of that qualifier in blue. Next is Data Qualifier Reason Code Definitions. This report defines all of the reason codes that may be used to qualify data. Next is the Data Validation Report, which can be exported and submitted to the core as the final data validation report. It is discussed in detail in our Validation Tutorial Data Review Checklist video, linked in the description. Next, Field Blank Associated Results shows the results for each field blank and their associated samples. This allows you to confirm which samples are being qualified by a specific field blank. The results of the blank are listed on the left, followed by the affected samples. Next is Field Duplicates by SDG. This report shows field duplicate results, the associated parent sample results, and the calculated relative percent difference between the two. Let's discuss what a few of the fields mean. RPD check. If the parent and field duplicate results are less than 5 times the LOQ, the report will display NA. If the results are greater than 5 times the LOQ, the report will compare the RPD against the RPD criteria and indicate whether the RPD is OK or out. RL check. If the parent or field duplicate results are less than 5 times the LOQ, then the system looks at the difference between them. If the difference between the parent and field duplicate result is greater than the LOQ, in the case of water samples, or 2 times the LOQ, in the case of soil samples, the difference in concentration will be displayed. If the difference is less than the LOQ, in the case of water, or less than 2 times the LOQ, in the case of soil, the RL check will display OK. Next, Field Replicates by SDG shows the field replicate results, along with the relative standard deviation. Next is Hold Time Summary Unapproved. This report shows the collection, extraction, and analysis times for each field sample, along with the number of days between each step and the criteria from the EQAP. Exceedances are bolded. Note, if we switch the Display Only Out of Control Records option to True and rerun the report, Only the exceedances will be displayed. Next, Laboratory Duplicates by SDG shows the results for each lab duplicate and associated parent sample, along with the relative percent difference between the two. It has many of the same features as the Field Duplicates by SDG report. The next report is LCS Summary. It shows the LCS percent recovery and the recovery limits for each analyte. Results outside of the limits will be bolded. Next, Matrix Spike Summary shows the MS and MSD percent recovery, RPD, and limits for each analyte, along with the associated parent results. Exceedances are shaded and detects are bolded. Next, Qualified Results by Event shows all qualified results for a sampling event, including the bias, lab limits, and reason codes. Next, Reference Material Summary shows results and percent recoveries of reference materials and known duplicates compared to limits. Exceedances are shaded. Next, the Surrogate Summary shows the surrogate percent recovery for each result. Next is the Surrogate EIS Summary. It is similar to the surrogate report, although it sorts by surrogate code as defined in the EQAP, which can be helpful for reviewing PFAS and EIS compound associations and results. Finally, the Validator Detail Report has detailed information to help validators during their review, including field and lab batch information, outliers, qualified results, detects, and more. It is discussed in the How Does ADR Work Part 2 video, linked in the description. This covers the reports that support validation in FUDSChem. For information on the other reports in this dropdown, please refer to our Data Validation and Submission Reports Overview video, linked in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.